Welcome. This is the Late Late Show with VT, where views of security and the law are being provided to you, the public. So as you know, this is our radio version, and it is broadcast between the hours of 12 and 2 p.m., Monday through Friday. If you like what you hear, if you want to help out, you can certainly email at latasha8@gmail.com. Inside every bottle of Suave Professionals is a beautiful blend. Find the blend you need for the hair you love. So with Kim Clark, the best colleges for your money. With costs rising and the stakes high, the college search process has become tougher than ever. I decided to attempt to go back to school. I wanted to go out of state, but as you know, my mom, there's a situation with her health that keeps me grounded in this state, even though I would like to. I It seems best for my belief in family to stay here in Virginia. So I'm trying the school that I went to um, again. So I keep you posted on that. So schools are handing out brochures touting their job placement records without much to back up the stats. Meanwhile, 2016 presidential candidates on both the left and the right are appealing to voters with promises of helping students graduate debt-free or get work-free ready degrees. Not likely to be eligible for aid, that bill could top $250,000. You may be surprised that schools you may never have heard of will give you a better shot at success. And my whole thing with my degree that I have now was that um, it was better, even though it's a state school that I went to, or a Commonwealth school that I went to, that the market was better in a different state for the degree that I have. So that was the whole thing when you choose a college. And I was in high school, and it was sort of chosen for me when I was in high school. So back with Kim. So as you set out to find the best college fit for your student, pay attention to these 5 important signs that a school is of true value. At its most basic, the job of a good college is to enable students to get a degree, preferably in the 4 years that's promised. Even finishing in sixth standard gauge calculated by the federal government can be a challenge. In part, that's because students who feel that a college is wasting their time will vote with their feet. The best school you can go to is the best one you can graduate from, says New Americas. The default rate for the schools at the bottom of our list is 8%. That's because when you need more time to graduate, college becomes even more costly. How to spot value. The best schools graduate more than what's average, 65% at private colleges, 58% at public. You may be aiming for the best college your child can get into, but tours and marketing materials, not to mention data on the average student, won't tell you if their college will do the best job with a kid like yours. We looked at how well students of a particular institution do in 3 key measures: graduation rate, student loan defaults, and post-college earnings, compared with schools whose students had similar high school grades and similar economic backgrounds as measured by the percentage of low-income students attending. A rescue of New Paris, Indiana, who graduated near the bottom of his high school class and spent a few years, he says, majoring and partying at community college. Well, what they're up against in mine is having a degree and receiving disability. So going back to work from having a degree and being out of the job market for a decade, doing mostly volunteer work with not any actual paid positions, and going on disability, and all of those challenges with getting back to work. But he or she will graduate today into a job market in which oil companies are laying off thousands, notes director of the Center for Human Resources at the Warren School and author of the book Will College Pay Off? A school that balances academics with real-world practicality is the best value. The college was Money's 2014 Best Value and ranks #2 this year. So that's what I was saying about, it said a school that balances academics with real-world practicality is the best value. How the school will balance, having being in a situation where the student has a degree already from there and going back to work from being out of work and having been on disability. How would they balance that? And the financial aspect of it that goes with it as well. You're not getting much bang for your buck if your kid fades into the back of a big lecture hall for most of college. The public colleges on our list with the least accessible faculty have graduation rates of 48%, 15 percentage points below the rates for schools with student to faculty ratios are no more than 15:1. That's about $6,000 less than what fresh grads of the 100 private schools with the best student to faculty ratios earn. You don't have to be a young Einstein to find small classes. So I guess what they're trying to say is that the smaller the class, the better the bang for your buck. Those who learned the least were twice as likely to be unemployed and living with their parents as the best learners were. A value college will be one that both prods and inspires your students to learn. The best way to do that, a growing body of research shows, is to replace traditional lectures with active or collaborative learning. Sherry Shepherd was named the top professor at Research Universities by the Council for Advancement in Support of Education for her transformation of her engineering class. Sophomores in her Introduction to Solid Mechanics class bring their bikes in on the day she teaches how loads are transferred and design the gearing for a bike share program. So if you're wondering who came at #1, the top, Stanford was #1, and Babson College was one of those colleges, I should say, colleges you've never heard of. Babson College from Babson Park, Massachusetts came in at #2, and MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, came in at #3. For value, Robert Morris, University of Illinois, topped. Mount St. Mary's University came in at #2, and California State University at Stanislaus came in at #3. And grade schools you can actually get into, Texas A&M University came in at #1, University of Washington at Bothell came in at #2, and Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University came in at #3. Most affordable, Berea College came in at #1, Principia College came in at #2, and Rust College came in at #3. John Wagner, with all the talk of a possible bear market lurking just around the bend, it's no wonder that investors are terrified of stocks. Enter alternative funds or alts, which use strategies pioneered by hedge funds that would theoretically lessen a bear's bite. Long short equity funds try to do that by betting on parts of the market while simultaneously betting against or short selling other shares or sectors. Market neutral funds are similar, but they make equal-sized bets on and against equities, neutralizing the impact of overall market swings. But the following year, the fund trailed the market by 11 points, and over the past 5 years, it has lagged by 8 points annually. The Schwab fund charges 1.33%, but that's still 1 point more than the fees on many stock index funds. If dampening potential bear market losses is your aim, adding exposure to bond funds or cash may be just as effective as hedging. That's John Wagner talking about investing with regard to high quality stocks. Donna Rosado, that's well below the 4% that many financial planners say is safe. Don't have a pension and don't want to be a landlord? The bucket for later years can have stock holdings for greater long-term growth. So retirement, that's a concern because where's the retirement when you're volunteering? Um, so definitely the school that accepts me has a lot on their shoulders in my perspective. Because it's like you're going from a negative to something versus something to something, in my opinion. What the negative is a positive and a contributory negative, which is different than it just being a weight. Lisa Morin. After you deliver your baby in the placenta, your doctor or midwife will press gently on your belly to ensure your uterus is contracting, called a fundal massage. This practice helps decrease the bleeding that occurs after childbirth. Your body knows childbirth is a monumental event, which may be why it's common for your whole body to shake toward the end of delivery or right afterward. You might have an episiotomy, a surgical incision in the perineum, the area between the vagina and the anus, to assist in the delivery of the baby's head, or you may have a natural tear that requires stitches. Stitches would dissolve on their own over time, but staples would need to be removed by your doctor in 5 to 7 days. You may have trouble going or sensing when you need to or leak when you cough or sneeze, but tell your doctor if it persists for more than a few weeks. And so we are reading from Marie Claire, May 2016, Parents, March 2016, Money, August 2015, and Maxim, December, January 2016. So one thing about information is that it's timeless. Timeless news versus breaking news. Now with Erica Clark, who has 5 easy meals. And of them, if you place half of that baguette in a food processor, that'll help with your weekend prep for those 5 easy meals that she has. One of them is a sausage and onion pasta. In a large skillet, brown the sausage in a hot oil over medium-high heat, stirring to break up the meat as it cooks. And on Wednesday, open-faced chicken sandwiches. Half of that baguette lengthwise, and then half that baguette lengthwise, and then half crosswise to make 4 or 5-inch pieces. Place the bread on the baking sheet, broil to 4 minutes or until lightly toasted. And Friday, you can try some oven-baked eggs. Transfer the baking sheet to the oven and bake until the egg whites are set about 25 minutes to help you with those oven-baked eggs with Erica Clark and her 5 easy meals, Monday through Friday. Christopher Wallace. Jimmy's is one of the world's most famous nightclubs, with big-time, quite noted DJs playing such as Bob Sinclair, Axwell, and Martin Solveig. The place still has welcoming warmth, as if several thousand of your closest friends are dancing with you to the beat at an intimate house party. And that's at Twigga. And the Buddha Bar, lodged in a wing of the Monte Carlo Casino, the Buddha Bar blends East and West in a setting that seems as opulent as it is intimate. And the Buddha Bar, there's an image here. It's Seems very interesting. Still with Christopher Wallace, the room was designed to resemble the very essence of a regal Aquarama, with distinctive elements of the one-of-a-kind boat, a tribute to its builder. But the YCM is much more than just a home for boaters. The building is a little like a city in a microcosm, with schools, parks, offices, restaurants, a network of interior circulation streets, and a hierarchy of public and private, social and functional spaces, says whose firm Foster Plus Partners designed the place. Still with Christopher Wallace, gorgeous women dressed to kill, men with dangerous intentions, all gathered together for the best party in the world. A new heightened energy ripples across the patio. Is it Bono taking his favorite spot in the corner of the patio? By the time tonight's new arrival, Michael Jordan sits down and lights a cigar, his neighbors have returned to an ebullient equilibrium, talking and table hopping as per usual. In the beginning, the target was to make the customers feel at home, and then they became our friends. Today, as we finish our fabulous meal and as Jordan lights another cigar, the dancing begins in earnest, packing the dance floor and the bar, and then spilling out onto the street. It is impossible to avoid the feeling Sammy and Salsa have created, impossible to resist the mingling, the dancing. By the time we make our way out, a fantastically glamorous couple, rumpled from a wild night yet still in progress, slip out of an SUV, brandy snifters in hand, headed for their favorite seats on the patio. Now with Jacqueline Miller. Monaco has many famed inspired buildings such as the Opera de Monte Carlo, designed by noted architect Charles Garnier, and the Oceanographic Museum, once built by the brilliant Marina. But then they will rightly give you a hard time if you commit a faux pas such as failing to give the right of way to a pedestrian. Text with Eric Spitznagel. It's been a good year for Michael Keaton, and it's about to get better. The best adventures have occasional blackouts. Is Beetlejuice 2 really happening? All About That Bass with Eric Soft. Heavy on the bass and easy on the eyes, the second generation of Sennheiser's over-the-ear headphones retains the original's rich sound profile and distinctive leather and brushed steel look, while adding a travel-friendly fold-flat design. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Wild child Max gets sent to bed without supper after threatening to eat his mom. But her next move puts this book on the list because the message of unconditional parental love, even when you misbehave, is reassuring to kids. Which is interesting because of the situation with the charge. He gets sent to bed after threatening to eat his mom, but you have somebody that wants to go to court, but they are trying to be a family man. Can find no better way to deal with it or to respond than to get the police involved. Chris and Heather Daniak were devastated in 2008 when Nicholas With his above, there's a picture here with his brother William, was diagnosed with Batten disease at age 5. In 2014, he passed away on his 11th birthday. With Jennifer Cole. Our condolences. The only way to really be ahead is to be different. Larry Ellison. With Jennifer Goldstein. Bottega Veneta Parco Palladino II gets its zestiness from cypress, a tree found in the famous landscapes of Italy's Veneto region. And Toya Burch Jolie Fleur Vert has a dewy green accord reminiscing of Burch's Hamptons, New York garden. Horoscopes with Eric Francis Capolino. In such a situation, it's best to be patient and be helpful to others. Mercury moves in your favor on the 22nd. You'll have the details you seek by then. The break you may get may not be exactly the one you want, but it's nearly the same. If you're inclined to believe that perfection is impossible, you'll now realize just how close to achieving it you are. Be tolerant and work your way to the heart of the matter. But both Mars and Saturn are currently moving backward through your sign, which is compelling you to stop, rethink, and revise many of your plans. Ask yourself whether this is the emotion you need to run on, considering that there is a much better alternative. The planets are suggesting that your objective is not to be popular, but to get the job done. Between 2000 and 2011, El Salvador prosecuted 129 women for abortion-related crimes, and more than a third were convicted. Raising the bar. In 2001, when actress of Orange is the New Black, Jane the Virgin, was just 14 years old, her parents, who had left the poverty and corruption of Colombia for the United States in 1981, were deported along with her older half-brother. She's using her painful past to battle on behalf of the undocumented. Adrian Gaffney. Lawrence Ducey. To be able to look my team in the eyes and to know that all the blood, sweat, and tears were going to count for a meaningful outcome was really exciting. Born in Canada and raised in Hong Kong, Lee says her mother, who ran a successful translation business, was a model for how to run a company. But she took the gig anyway, largely because of advice she received during one of her interviews from a then Google vice president. She said she always chose the more challenging path because you would learn and grow the most. The bling. Behind the cover beauty. The next big thing. Fashion, beauty, tech, culture, work, wellness. Want to know more? Email nextbigthing@hearst.com. 30th Anniversary Edition Prix d'Excellence Beauty Awards 2016. Welcome to Marie Claire's annual global beauty competition. Each year, a panel of more than 20 revered international beauty journalists votes to crown the planet's most innovative cosmetics. Among the hundreds of eligible products that launched last year, only 10 were selected as the most cutting edge, from the Ultimate Multitasking Foundation to a face cream that's basically Instagram's Valencia filter in a jar. And of them was Chanel Hydra Beauty. A serum that's actually kind of fun to put on every morning because A, it's blue, and B, it glides on like water, though it does much more than that. When the bottle is almost empty, it's worth digging out the last drops. And that's Chanel Hydra Beauty. Adrian Jordan. But while the people of Myanmar look to the future, at least one 2,000-year-old beauty ritual is still going strong, as I discovered on a recent trip. Fishermen from this Tibeto-Burman ethnic group are known for deftly steering their boats while standing up with one leg wrapped around a single oar. A shy girl appears from behind her mother, and her powder is beautifully patterned on her cheeks in the shape of leaves. The older, the better. Burmese women may use Thanika to preserve their beautiful complexions, but in a country with such a turbulent history, the unifying ritual that crosses ethnic, religious, and class boundaries is so much more. We scour the globe for the most powerful skin beautifying botanicals with Jennifer Goldstein. Without the ability to run away from ultraviolet radiation or bacterial or animal attacks, plants have had to evolve a vast area of chemical defenses to protect themselves, explains the botanist and dermatologist. But their struggle is our skin saver, as these naturally occurring chemicals are often capable of complexion magic. And out of Australia, Asia, rice bran oil. There's definite merit to using it in skincare, citing stories of the youthful looking hands of Japanese sake workers who handle the ingredient daily. SK2's new face oil blends it with the brand's signature anti-aging Pitera. Out of Europe, Adderweiss. Adderweiss extract may inhibit the breakdown of collagen and hyaluronic acid, supporting the skin's natural structure. Out of the Americas, bladderwrack seaweed. It may not have a pretty name, but this common coastal plant can improve the firmness and elasticity, according to Browser. The navy bean. Mary Kay uses it in conjunction with other skin lightening agents in a new serum that's been shown to reduce the appearance of dark spots in 95% of women who applied it twice daily for 12 weeks. Quinol. To create an overnight exfoliant as effective as a glycolic peel, but way less irritating. Researchers added quinoa husk extract to the brand's new micro peel concentrate. And Jennifer Goldstein, Africa, resurrection plant. Could the extract help skin bounce back too? And vanilla orchid. They've maximized its potential in the patented Planifolia PFA complex featuring the brand's luxurious sublimate eye cream. And we can't forget myrtle. Retinol is one of the most powerful anti-agents on the planet, but it gets even better with nature's help. The extract of this evergreen shrub increases retinol's effectiveness while decreasing the chances that it will cause irritation. And lastly, but not leastly, with Jessica Metholic, if they have something they want to buy, we will give them work chores so they can earn it. And last week, we started adding a book. With our BT views, as opposed to BT views, we started adding the book where we read out of a book. And last week we read Sandra Brown's The Alibi. Didn't get to finish it because we only went in it 2 days. And we did 3 days of the 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of The Alibi. And we mentioned How to Mow the Lawn as being up next. The Lost Art of Being a Man. So we're going to get to that in a few minutes. So the lost art of being a man. How to mow the lawn. Unfortunately, things didn't get better. They got worse. Now, some 30 years later, Hammer warehouses from Bombay to Boston hold nothing but dust and broken dreams. On further examination, this troubling phenomenon highlights the fact that men are far worse off than simply being hammerless. Taking a date out for a romantic dinner often stretches to little more than buying popcorn and a box of Whoppers at the movies. Of course, these activities are still resourceful. Men have always been that. At least not in the same way Sir Richard Barton, the 19th century British explorer, was manly. Nowadays, most men no longer know what it takes to be a real man. And I mentioned about the guy going to the police regarding the threatening kid as opposed to going to the threatening kid. Not knowing how to be a real man. Inside these pages, you'll find everything you need to know to be a man. Too bad he's not listening. You even come away knowing a few things about how to be a hero, the dream of any real man worth his salt. And it's not coming from me, it's coming from someone else. But how to mow the lawn. When the time comes to buy yourself a lawnmower, get on a good pair of work boots and head on down to the showroom to keep the tires on a few of these beauties. The problem is that in hauling the power cord all over the lawn, you have to be careful not to hack it to bits or lose composure. Generally, however, the best time to plant is in spring, once the last freeze has come and gone. So this one has a lot of how to do's, but the title of the book is How to Mow the Lawn. But it's just a lot of how to's. Generally, however, the best time to plant is in the spring once the last freeze has come and gone. Usually it is best to water in the early morning rather than at night. Ideally, you want it to be in full sun. And while most men no longer butcher their own supply, grilling meat is still at the top of your job description. And what better way to start than to build your own barbecue pit? And it shows you how to build a barbecue pit. When men think of cooking outdoors, they think men, and that's because meat. They think meat, and that's because meat tastes good. The best cuts of meat to grill are the thinner, smaller ones like pork chops, chicken legs, ribs, flank, ribeyes, or T-bones. Legend has it that John Wayne grilled up 60 pounds of ribeyes for the entire cast and crew of True Grit without putting down his tongs or leaving the barbecue unattended once. Take a page from the Duke's book of grilling protocol and learn how to be smooth but stern while manning the pit. First, decide on an imaginary perimeter around the barbecue pit and call it yours, even if you're away from home. Men adapt. Then, before you fire up the charcoal, get all the tools you need within arm's reach and make sure there's someone near to bring you more beer. Don't let go of the tongs till the last burger has been served. While you may be hungry enough to eat a horse, it's always best to find water first. If you find some, bend the top of one stalk over a container for water to drain out. And that's referring to bamboo because bamboo collects water. For a fire to burn and stay lit, you need plenty of fuel, wood, newspaper, and an old pair of socks. Hardwoods like oak burn the hottest and longest, while green woods burn bright and fast. It's best to try and find your way home by using your expert powers of deduction. Using the sun as a guide can be tricky in countries of the southern hemisphere. The best plan is to find out about the animals you might run into and prepare yourself. when I went on the trip and we went up the hike, they had what was it, wolves? But I didn't ask how were she prepared if we did see a wolf or a wolf came toward us. That would have been an interesting question. Would we squirt some water on it? Because all she had was a bottle, to my knowledge, was a bottle or bag full of bottled water. Some may be bigger than others, but they all work on the same principle. Now we're under the hood. Although there are plenty of honest, hardworking mechanics who will tell you exactly what's wrong with your car and then fix it without any tomfoolery, there are those who might want to make an extra buck here or there by telling you your car needs a new timing belt, for example, even when it really only needs a tune-up. Above all, do not tell your mechanic what you think needs to be done to your car and get a written estimate of the work that needs to be done before any work starts. But if you can manage the basic upkeep yourself, you'll save money by not having to get a mechanic in to get this simple stuff done. Fixing a flat bicycle tire is a snap and can save you a long, humiliating walk back to civilization in the bike shop. To sort it out, turn the bike upside down and backpedal to look for a tight link. And remember, the better the quality, the longer a tool will last. How to take something apart and put it back together again. If you never read instructions for model airplane kits when you were a kid, chances are you'll find yourself in a heated panic after disassembling your car's rear brakes and realizing you have no idea how to put them back together. Machines always break, even the best ones. Before tossing the toaster in the trash, however, try to find out what is wrong. It's gross, and it doesn't have to be that way. You'll never know when you'll wake up to burst pipes, exploding hot water heaters, or overflowing kitchen disposals. Working with electricity is not always trouble-free, but you can eliminate the more dangerous problems by turning off the main power before you start. Circuit breakers or fuses serve as the safety valves for the house. If a circuit overloads, then its fuse or circuit breaker will be triggered and the electricity cut off. Resetting a circuit breaker is as easy as flipping the switch, while a blown fuse has to be replaced. If a lamp flickers all the time or it won't turn, it might be that the cord is frayed or cracked. And we're going to take a break. So we're back with the book, and we're reading from The Lost Art of Being a Man, How to Mow the Lawn. While a steady hand will give you a good hoe, it's the drill and the drill bit that do all the work. You'll be glad to know that vinyl tiles don't look like they used to back in the 70s. Besides, anything that has the potential of making a big sticky mess is real work and deserves to be added to every handyman's repertoire. On the other hand, every man needs a workbench, and this is a great excuse to buy one. Even better, simply buy 2 sawhorses and a 4x6 foot piece of 3/4 inch thick plywood, and voila, instant work table. Sink any below the surface with a hammer and nail punch and fill with wood filler. Whether eating Abdul or with friends and family, ordering Chinese food, or popping out to the corner bistro, it's important to be a good host. Bring them to the fold and make sure they're having fun. The good thing is that it is not as intimate as romantic dinner for two, so it's okay if events get the better of you. Not only do you have to stand at the head of the table, delicately slicing the evening meal into palatable portions, you also have to look good doing it. This is man's work, to be sure. Although there are no strict rules about when to serve liquor because you can always think of a reason to booze things up, always be sure to serve them in the right glass. The best way is to pour the gin over ice, where it is stirred, not shaken, lest the gin bruise before removing the vermouth from the shelf. Now the party's over, it's time to put your house back together. The best thing you can do to get yourself cleaned up for a big day is to have a shower and shave. I agree, especially the shave. A shower and a shave. You want to be cool but not too cool, charming but not so much that you come off like a playboy. If you have trouble with important dates, take comfort in the fact that you are not alone. Will it be too big? These are the questions that can turn a short trip to the store into an odyssey, especially if you're shopping for a specific occasion like a birthday or an anniversary. These days, women collapse to the floor because they skip a meal or don't drink enough water at the dance club. I've seen a number of guys try to get their foot in the bedroom door too early on, so you end up with broken toes. That means he has to be able to accumulate the most expensive tools, cell phones, laptops, and gadgets he can get his hands on. It's one of the best toys a man can have, but it does mean that in theory you can work anywhere you go. Unless you buy the newest model with the latest processing chip, you'll be out of date before the year is out. Then once you spend the money updating, you will have shelled out at least as much money as it would have cost you to buy the best one in the first place. Which is kind of true regarding laptops, because I bought one laptop and then I had to get it fixed, and that was another over $100. Now it's broke again, and I have to put it back in there to get it fixed. When I could have just paid, to more money to get a better laptop. Winning is not only about brute strength and unbound athleticism, it also takes brain, strategy, and smart decision making. How to be a good sport when playing. And the other one was getting your foot in the bedroom door. So back to how to be a good sport when playing. After all, victory is always sweet if you practice hard, play by the rules, and respect the competition. How to be a good sport when watching. Before the opening whistle, beer must be stocked, food kept at hand, couch fluffed up, and fresh batteries placed in the remote. This is not such a bad thing unless you want it to be a bad thing because the pain usually gets you motivated. It renews the blood and oxygen to your muscles and organs. But don't overdo it to begin with. And that's me. I recently started back exercising like today. So like don't overdo it in the beginning. So I did my 45 minutes of cardio and I'm gonna do an additional workout of dance. No question about it. Men with perfect stomach muscles always get the best lifestyle jobs. Just remember that you cannot afford to get caught playing basketball in a pair of jogging shoes. A canine comrade will always be there when you need him, even if you leave the poor beast out in the cold and rain for a night. The bachelor party, an evening of ecstatic debauchery with the boys, justified no less by long-standing tradition. Ever since the 6th century BC, when Spartan soldiers ate and drank to a comrade on the night before his wedding day, men have been blowing off steam before tying the knot. Like it's like the get out of jail free time. Canine companions will not only forever be at your side, but they won't care if you don't bring them flowers on their birthdays. Unfortunately, there are some dogs that don't even think once, and these dogs are as tough to handle as any bad-tempered person. If you are wondering about getting a dog, unhappy dogs are those who are always being told no without being told why. Guests and dates will be duly impressed and grateful that the beast didn't jump all over their expensive new clothes. How to be a hero. Every man wants to be a hero, and oddly enough, any man can. Avoid infection by treating cuts and scratches right away. If you know you're heading to snake country, it's always good to bring along a snake bite kit so that you can use the suction extractor that comes inside of it. You just have a snake bite and a knife cut to deal with. There are many ways a person can stop breathing, his heart stop beating. And yet, think of the dental bills and facial reconstruction costs you can defer by stepping between your two flailing lunatics. And while they were clear about the route they took to get to the top, the two Frenchmen were a little bit more vague about what it took to get there. It was a bitch, Balmer told his gastroenterologist some weeks after the ascent. And that was How to Mow the Lawn, The Lost Art of Being a Man. So I said I started back with my fitness routine this month because I want to take my BMI from being right now it's an obese. I want to take it from being obese to being what is considered healthy or normal. Um, which is about, I need to take it down about 10 points, 10 digits to go from obese to, because then once you go from obese, then you go into overweight. Once you go into overweight, then you go into healthy. So yeah, I'm past overweight right now and obese. So like, yeah, something has to happen. Even though I've lost weight, I've lost about 13 pounds so far. So I'm deciding whether or not to keep my fitness certification because I'm certified in kickboxing and group exercise. So I thought that I think that I'm gonna stop in that one because having one income per month right now, I need to live like I have one income a month right now, not like I'm getting 2 paychecks a month. So I gotta make some choices, make some decisions that's indicative of that reality. And that's gonna be one of them. So how about we made a call. I remember making a call to Brad live. Why not make this call live as well? Let's see how that goes. Me quitting the fitness industry. Because I already paid for it. where I can be certified for life, but now I was thinking about me quitting and is getting a refund. I didn't get a. We're gonna see if I can quit. So I'm still on hold. Anyway, so after this, I have two DVDs that I'm going to try. One is um, a burlesque DVD, and the other is an African dance DVD. And they're both pretty interesting. The burlesque one, ironically, is taught by a male. Because how can I be in this industry if I'm obese? Right? Don't get me wrong, the local Y has obese personnel working, teaching. But how could I? I'm not saying that I don't believe it can happen because clearly it's happening and it happens. It even happens at American Family Fitness. So I'm just gonna see if I can quit today. Mind you, the money's already been spent, but I'm gonna see if I can get it back. Well, I'm not gonna have you all hold with me, but hey, we're not doing anything else, and it is kind of interesting. Let's see if she can quit. My.
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment. representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you. Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment. Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you. Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment. for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative.
I guess everybody's at lunch. So I'm gonna hold a few more minutes.
Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Just a moment. Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you. Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in just a moment. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. line, and we'll be right back with you. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you. Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line, and we'll be back in a moment. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you for waiting. Your patience is appreciated. Please hold the line, and we'll be right back with you. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you. Thanks for holding. We appreciate your time and patience. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line and we'll be back in a moment. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line, and right back with you. Thank you for holding. We look forward to talking with you soon. Please hold the line and we'll be right back with you. All representatives are still assisting other callers. Please remain on the line for the next available representative. As a member service, how can I help you?
Hi. I recently did a Research for Life, but I would like to get my money back. Is that possible? It's Natasha Rains. Hold on for one moment. I'm gonna have to go now, but this has been the Late Late Show with BT. Bye.